Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday. What an awesome day it is in the Lord. I'm so excited that we've had this time together and are able to share with you what God is doing. I hope that we are being a blessing to you. I want you to do something for me. I'd love to hear from you. You can message us here on our website, ccoth.org. Or you can do it right here on Facebook. But we'd love to know that we are being a blessing to you. I just love to know where you're from, how far we're reaching, and how many people we are reaching. And we would love to know that. So if you don't mind, message us and share this program over and over and over. We just want to be a blessing to people's lives. And hey, by the way, while I'm talking, giving a commercial spot, I would love for you to come be with us in service at Christ Church of the Heartland here at 720 Bertling Street in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, this Sunday. We start at 10 o'clock. We have also Wednesday night service at 7. It would be our joy to have you in our service. If you don't have a home church, we would love for you to come be with us. We're going to, I assure you, one of my pastor friends says, we're going to love you in so many different ways that you're going to have to come back. I just believe that's true. So we want you to come and be a part of us. And if you can't come, then watch us right here on Facebook Live and all the different outlets that we do, because we know that we will be a blessing to you through what God is speaking and saying. We're talking this week again. I'm giving you a love challenge. In the midst of a crazy world where everything is going nuts and it seems like there's all kinds of division, hate, and anger, I believe we, the church, can make a difference. You know, over the last few months, I have sat on several different panels talking about racial reconciliation. Now, is there such thing as prejudice? Is there racism? Well, we all know there is. It's on both sides of the spectrum. But one of the things that I've heard over and over and over, I've heard several different times as we've sat together in several different meetings and sessions, I've heard these words: I just want people to understand. And see, one of the challenges of the Love Dare was that love seeks to understand. You know, the Bible tells us in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 13, it says, happy is the man who finds wisdom and the man who gains understanding. You know, sometimes I've just got to be willing to try to understand their point of view or their side of the picture. It's real easy for me to just, well, this is the way it is. And like many of us, we're that way. This is just how it is. You ought to get over it and you ought to get through it. Well, friend, I don't know about you, but I've been through some things in my lifetime that it wasn't that easy to just get over it. It wasn't just that easy to get through it. Let me give you a testimony that happened to me many years ago. When I first started pastoring, there was a man. I was very young at the time, and he was much older than I. But he came into the church, and his name was Jerry. I never will forget him. Jerry was an alcoholic, and Jerry would binge drink. And Jerry came into the church, and he got saved. And Jerry done real well for a few weeks. And then, as the saying is, Jerry fell off the wagon. And for a few days, his wife and family didn't even know where he was, because that's how Jerry's life was. It's an October night, kind of like where we are right now. A cool, rainy October. I get the call, Pastor, will you come to the house? Jerry has come home. He wants to meet with you. I go to his house, and it's a little older home in the community of where they lived. And it was a living room that used to have the old heat stove. Y'all remember that our older people will, that stood out from the wall and, it kind of kept the whole house warm. And we were having coffee together, and Jerry just began to talk. And Jerry began to talk about his childhood. He began to talk about how he was brought up. He began to talk about how difficult and how hard it was. And I think I'm doing what a good pastor does. I'm sitting there. I'm focused in on him. I'm nodding my head. And Jerry talks about going to war through Vietnam and such as that. And I remember just making a statement to just let Jerry know that I was listening. And I said, I know. And all of a sudden, Jerry threw his finger up in my face and said, young man, you don't know anything. I wished I could have got under the house at that moment, because I realized I didn't know. I had never been through what he had been through. I didn't know what it was to be abused. I didn't know what it was to have a drop of alcohol a day in my life. I didn't know what it was to go through war. See, I'm sitting there thinking I'm hearing, but I'm not hearing. Sometimes we got to be willing to let love at least work through us to maybe understand the other side, so that we can know where they're coming from, that we can really know how to pray for them and how to reach out to them through the love of Christ.